guys, welcome to the review video for the custom I made. Well, it's still this week, but last week. Yeah, here she is. You guys finally get to see her. I wanted to make sure I didn't put this video out like before he got the doll, just because I still wanted to keep it somewhat a surprise for him. So yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this doll. My sister was mad because she was like, oh, now I have a new favorite and you aren't even keeping her. And I'm like, I know, well, it's the way things happen. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. I can always make more dolls. It's not that big of a deal. But she is gorgeous. Did something new with her face up. You guys saw that in the last week, hopefully. Like, I have no clue when this is going up. Like I said, this is going up after he gets the doll. So, and by the way, if you guys don't know who I'm talking about, Seven. He has a channel. It's mainly BJDs and like the different Monster High dolls and his customs and stuff like that that he gets. It's pretty interesting. I like watching him. So, yeah. And like I was about to say, his links will be in the description thing, and I think we'll put up somewhere in the corner there will be an I button. I'll try and link his channel there too. But yeah, I tried something new with that's the weird thing with this doll. I know she was an older doll, and I just knocked a doll over. She's an older doll, so her knee joints are a little loose, but I mean, because her hair is heavy, that's part of the reason why it's so easy for her to bend backwards. That, and I've never experienced this with a doll. Her head, it goes backwards. I mean, none of my dolls do that, so I have no clue why this doll's doing it. I don't know if I need to put maybe a rubber band inside her head would work. I'm not quite sure. But I mean, I've posed her and you barely noticed it. So yeah, I wouldn't know the fix for that, and I don't want to like edit and mess up his doll. So if he knows a fix for that, maybe he could do it. Like I said, I have no clue how to fix something like that. Unfortunately, it's like one of those things I cannot control. There we go. But, I made her these earrings. Now, these, at first, I thought I only had these square ones, and then when I was looking, I found a cylinder one, and then this, diamond shaped one. So, I was like, oh, I should give her one of each of the shapes. And then, to bring out more copper within her, because, if you don't notice, she's got copper in her makeup. So I wanted to bring more copper into her outfit. And, ooh, also, I like these chains that I added on her. It gives it more pops of color, because even though green isn't technically a neutral, paired with brown, I consider it a neutral color. So she was very neutral, especially with me adding copper. So adding more purple and like this brighter green chain, brightened her up a little bit. You can see down here. And then I just added this second earring. You can see this right there. You can see the purple chained earring is one earring, and then this green one is the second one. And then I gave her this chain little headdress, which these are pins, like sewing pins, like you pin like fabric together, so that way it's the only thing I can think that would stick in her head that wouldn't like just fall off or something. So I used that. I was being very resourceful, I guess. Get that stuff out of the way. And then I felt like she needed a necklace. I was just gonna use the necklace I got with the Dawn Dancer, Itsy Dawn Dancer, there we go. I was just gonna use that, but it didn't look good because everything she has on her looks very homemade, I guess. It just didn't go with what she looked like, I guess, is what I'm thinking. So I pretty much just created a chain and just did this. Now this bead is blue, but it's dark enough that it kind of goes with the purple, so it's not like, it looks good to me, so. And then I just added a green bead. I didn't want this to be like super big, especially since she's a small doll and in the first place, so that I kind of had a hard time picking certain beads. All these are actually some of my smallest beads that I own. So I had to be careful not getting something so big, because otherwise it would look odd to her size. So the dress is basically basic Gigi, basically where is she? This Gigi right here, it's basically her dress. I basically flocked the whole thing. Let's see right here, it's flocked purple underneath. And I thought it was a cool touch. I was having a hard time figuring out what to do for a belt. At first I tried ribbon. That wasn't working. I seriously had a problem trying to figure out what to use. Nothing in my Monster High box was working with what I had, so I was like, let me try the glue method like I did with Galaxia, and it works. So I painted it copper, and then kind of blended the copper onto the leaves. So, and then these leaves are just dollar store leaves. So create a cute little outfit. Really nice. I like the flocking on here. I like the furriness and ness of it, jungle themed. And then I gave her two little a little cuff thing right here on the top. She's got little bangles down here. That's another thing I like about her. I did something different that I usually don't do. Usually don't mix different types of metals when I do jewelry. She has basically 3 different colored chains on her, along with any jump rings. I used copper or like a goldish color and silver. Basically you can see that here. So there's the silver one in between these. So I use a bunch of different colors just so that way she has a little more contrast in her. And I get kind of a witch doctor-y vibe, and I feel like whatever she feels like putting on, she would put on, rather it matched what she was wearing or not. So I just imagined her to be very mismatched. That being said, like I said, I get a very shaman-like vibe from her. I don't know why. Not to say that shamans look like this or anything like that, but just in my head, it's what I think when I look at her. Also, these are Itsy Dawn Dancer's little boots shoes. She couldn't fit them because obviously her feet are too small, and actually Issy's feet are a little more elongated, so even if she did have bigger feet, it still wouldn't have fit her because her feet are not, the normal feet aren't long enough. So I was trying to figure out like how to use these, and because I really wanted to use them. At first I was going to flock them, but after I did the dress it was going to be too much flocking, so I decided to opt out of it and just color it with, paint it with metallic colors in like copper, purple, and green. And I tried to do the green at the bottom so it's not like a bunch of green up here. And then, yeah. And then if you don't like these on here, you could easily just pop them off. And she has little chain anklets. So, that's another thing. I didn't realize how small Howlene's feet are. And then she also has a chain bracelet up here too. That's another thing I didn't show you guys. Actually, I've been playing around with giving dolls rings. So I gave her a couple rings. And then this one on the top looks like she's wearing 2 rings. The only difference with that is I just didn't clip the excess off. I just kept rolling it so it looked like it was 2 rings, but it was still one piece. And I just used like one of these, but a smaller version, basically. Now, I wanted to give her tattoos, but not like a lot, so I just did one arm instead of like doing something like I did on the deer custom, which someone gave me a name. I have to re-look it up. I'm sorry if you see this video and I forgot. Been a busy week. I'm sorry. But anyway, here it is. I basically did like a paw print because obviously she's like a wolf, and just kind of like a squiggle line kind of, and a green dot. I don't know, I just tried to use her colors and just do something there so that way she looks a little more like fancy or something. I don't know, I just wanted to do something more. So yeah, that's pretty much her whole body, or her whole doll. She is flocked on the sides, and I like the flocking. Nice and soft. And then she does have split hair, like it's green on one side and brown on the other. And the thing I like most, I did have her hair up, so you can put her hair up and it will look really nice. I just like it down. It's the first time I've had a doll with this hairstyle and it be down. So there's that, and I'm having troubles putting this back on. There we go. Get her little leg things on. But like I like doing this. And then just zhuzh the hair back a little bit. And there you go, she gets looking fancy. But yeah, I finished her and then I kind of was like, she needs something else. And I've done this a lot with dolls where I finish them, but like I kept wanting to do more. Like it was mainly with the Phoenix sisters, where like I made the whole diorama for them, which is still not done. I still need to work on it, but like I keep starting projects. So I decided to make her a few little either potion bottles or just whatever he wants to use them for. But I created this little chain, and it has a little clasp right here so you can easily take it on and off the doll. But basically you would just over the shoulder, and she can just carry this little fairy dust or whatever you want to call it. But she can just carry that wherever she goes. Like I said, I was thinking kind of shaman when I was making some of this stuff, so, and that, like again, it's not to say that shamans are like this, it's just the vibe I get and how I perceive shamans. I'm sorry. But yeah, I made this, and it's just sand I got from the dollar store. I came with like a giant bag of sand, probably about that big. Just use that, and it works pretty good for like little fairy dust or whatever you want to use it for. I had thought about putting like oil in there so that way it's like floating stuff inside, but I decided not to. I thought it was still good just to do this. So there's that. Also gave her a jar of moss. And again, I got this at the dollar store. You can buy a big bag of moss at the dollar store. So I have plenty of moss to work with, and I've been meaning to get moss anyway, so I was happy to get that. There's that. And then finally, I got some red sand because I thought it would look cool to have a jar of something red. Like it could be like remnants of like phoenix powder or fire powder or red pixie dust of some sort. I don't know, you can let your imagination go wild. Like I said, I just make stuff like this and just kind of make things up as I go. But yeah, so I just made her these little things just to kind of give her a little more, just because it felt like she needed more. But yeah, for the most part, that's it. And also, I love her the face paint I gave her. It's the first time I kind of did this with a doll, even though I have done face paint on a doll. It's the first time I went to this extreme, or not that this is extreme, but it's the first time I did like the stripe. Like I've seen this kind of, like I looked up tribal makeup, and there was people that had like it went all the way across and all the way up to the forehead. I didn't really want to do that because I didn't want to be too much up here because she is already kind of busy. So I just did the stripe, which that is something else I saw too. And yeah, and nothing looks crisp or straight, and that's because not only can I not make like a straight line, I can if I really try, but I like the way it looked. I like the face paint look of it, because I mean, if you're gonna just wear face paint, you're not gonna make like perfect strokes. You're just, it's face paint. So yeah, but that's gonna be it. I hope you guys enjoyed. There will be pictures at the end of this. I did actually take some pretty awesome pictures from outside, so you guys will get to see like her in an outside kind of environment, which is cool. I try to do that with some of my dolls now, especially the dolls that are like foresty like, so they have a more outsidey feel whenever I take them outside. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this, and Seven, I hope you enjoyed her, or enjoy her more than I enjoyed making her. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.